Welcome to the third lecture of Digital Signal Processors and Architectures. Today we'll discuss a brief lecture about digital filters. So as we are all aware of what are filters mean, basically we use filters to remove the unwanted components in the sequence. These are characterized by impulse response, which is given as h of n. So when we talk about the general difference equation for a nth order filter, it is given as y of n equal to minus sigma ak y of n minus k plus sigma bk x of n minus k. So here ak and bk are the filter coefficients. So when we see the structure or the block diagram representation of our digital filter, x of n is our input, y of n is our output, and using unit delays, we are able to generate components y of n minus 1, y of n minus 2, and so on. And same thing happens here. And B0, B1, and so on, BL, and A1, A2, and so on, AN. These are the coefficients of the filter. Now, when we see the digital filters, how do you design a filter? It's nothing but it involves the determination of filter coefficients, that is AK and BK. Depending on the length of the impulse responses, there are two types of digital filters available for us. So one is called as finite impulse response filter and the other one is infinite impulse response filter. In short, we call them as FIR and IR filters. And now coming to FIR filter, the name itself suggests that it has finite impulse response. So the impulse response of these filters are of finite lengths. And the other point to be noted here is in FIR filters, the output depends only on the present and past input sequences, but it doesn't have any dependence on output sequences, that is the previous output sequences. And moreover, they are the stable filters, and the difference equation for FIR filter is given as y of n equal to sigma bk x of n minus k. So if we observe here, the term which is including the filter coefficients ak is not present because ak involves the components related to the previous outputs of the filter. So as FIR filter doesn't depend on the previous outputs, we don't have the term including AK. And how do we calculate the frequency response of an FIR filter? So that is h of e power j theta is, in terms of frequency domain, we are writing sigma bk e power minus jk theta. And similarly, we can even represent it in terms of Z transform. Now, what is the drawback of this finite impulse response filter, that is FIR filter, is to have a desired response, this requires more number of filter coefficients. So when we have more number of filter coefficients, obviously the computational time required for this filter is also more. Now coming to the other type of filter which we were discussing, that is IIR filter, infinite impulse response. So here again, it shows that the number of impulse response samples in an IIR filter are infinite, in contrast to that of FIR. And moreover, these are the recursive filters because here your output depends also on the previous outputs. That is, in addition to present and past inputs, the output depends on the past outputs also. And this is the expression for, that is, we are writing the expression in terms of the transfer function of the filter. So that's why we are representing it in the Z transform, the domain. So this includes both the coefficients BK and AK. So stability depends on how many number and how many number of the filter coefficients we have, and also on the values of the coefficients. The advantage is only with the small number of coefficients we are able to obtain the desired response in IR filter. Obviously, it also leads to less computation time. So how do we design basically a FIR filter means frequency response? Just now we have seen this expression. So here we have to calculate the BK because designing a filter is nothing but calculating the values of the filter coefficients. So BK is 1 by 2 pi integral h of e power j theta e power minus jk theta d theta. By this we can find out the coefficients which completes the design of the FIR filter. When we talk about the IR filter, the design of IR filter basically can be carried out using two methods, either analog filter design or direct design techniques. Analog filter design technique is an approach in which first an analog filter has to be designed with the given specifications. Then, using appropriate frequency transformations, these specifications, whatever we have in analog, has to be transformed into digital domain, which thereby gives us the required digital filter. As the design of this IR and FIR doesn't come under the scope of this particular lecture which we are discussing, I'm not digging deep into the design of IR and FIR filters. We are just covering like what are the basic topics you require to go through the digital signal process and architectures. Now, these are the components these are the specifications which you require to do the IR filter in analog domain. That is, basically we require what is the value of passband and stopband ripple in terms of dB, and also we require passband and stopband frequencies in radians per second. And the other one, that is the second approach which we have, is a direct IR filter design, which is based on least squares fit to a desired frequency response. So these are the two methods by which a filter is designed. So we'll continue in the next lecture